a chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Yeah, baby! Happy Friday, everybody. You are listening to another awesome, amazing episode of the Fried Pod. I'm one of the hosts, John Reap. We're doing it without Sarah this time. She is on the road, but she's going to record an interview while she's gone and put one together. That's what happens. You get two hilarious headliners. Can't always get in the same room at the same time. But don't you worry. I got us a good episode today. But first, I want to say thank you. Thank you for telling everybody about this. You know, word of mouth, that's what's going to get us more listeners. That's what's going to get us up there in the stratosphere of the iPod world. The podcast world. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, rate us on iTunes. Give us a rating. Review us. Subscribe and share. Share. Sharing is caring. And we care about you. Also, let's plug some tour dates real quick. I'm in sunny Los Angeles for a good bit here. My next gig's not till the 20th of July. I'll be in Temecula, California at Pachanga Casino Comedy Club there. That's going to be that weekend, Friday and Saturday, July 20 and 21. Then, after that, I'll be in Denver, Colorado. That's right. John Denver, they call me, the Mile High City. I'll be there July 27 through 28 or 29, something like that. Denver Comedy Works. That's the one that's in the Landmark, Denver. It's called Comedy Works South. So check that out. Okay, in this episode, I sit down with a good buddy I've known this guy since I started stand-up comedy. We met in Raleigh, North Carolina at Good Nights Comedy Club. And great impressionist, good guy. He's one of the only guys to be on both Mad TV and SNL. How about that? So you guys, please enjoy this episode of the Fried Pod and my little interview with the one and the only Jeff Richards. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, so much history with this young man right here. The one, the only Jeff Richards. I've had the pleasure of knowing for a very long time.
Probably 25 years.
25? Has it been that long?
I think
yeah?
so.
Well, when do you think we met for the first time?
96.
1996.
That's when I went to college out there.
You were in UNC Chapel Hill?
Yep.
We both met at Good Nights, Charlie Good Nights. Now it's just Good Nights. Have you been back there since? No?
Not really.
They've changed owners a couple times. They had, Tommy Williams was the guy for a while. He's kind of a notorious a-hole.
Yeah.
And then Brad Reeder bought it.
Right.
And then he sold it. Now it's the people who run Helium. They own it.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we met there, and I was trying to think, it was open mic night probably, right? I guess I had been there a little bit before you got there.
Yeah, you were already like a feature act, I think, when I was at open mic.
Okay, right.
And basically, I did the open mic, and then I remember you because I was doing the comedy class with Dan French.
Right.
And I remember you'd roll in and say hi to Dan.
And then I just go sit.
And then I just knew you were like one of the best ones because you were sitting with us, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
I remember that.
You were cool, but I knew you were like killing it.
Yeah.
You know?
That club was that was one of the cakewalk rooms where if you're just decently funny, you know, you think, wow, this is easier than I thought. Then you go outside of that place, some shitty one-nighter.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is brutal.
Kind of like the Ice House to me.
Ice House in Pasadena.
Yeah, it just erupts.
Cakewalk.
Yeah.
It's like you're going home with a free cake.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone wins something.
Yeah.
Good Nights was that way for me. And then our time there, let's see, you had Retta came out of there. Mm-hmm. You, me. Who else?
Jersey Dave.
Yes.
Campo Finique.
What exit? Campo Finique! Oh, my God. Right now, Michael Hauser is laughing his ass off.
Campo Finique. Remember I took one of Jersey Dave's root beers and he just shit?
Oh, we were so stoned. We were at his apartment and he had been saving these. They're like some special root beers that had like a basketball championship logo on it.
Yeah,
or
collector's edition.
Yeah. And we were just so stoned you had to have it.
Yeah.
Just
I mostly
cracked
grabbed
it
it because
open.
I kind of figured he would freak out.
Yeah.
You know, because
You just see his reaction.
Yeah. And Spurlock
Spurlock, Jeff Holler. You had
on a motorcycle.
I think I should get a trophy.
Yeah.
Because that no, he goes, here's a joke. This is Jeff Holler's joke. I got a ticket for receiving fellatio while driving. I think they should give me a medal because I drive a motorcycle.
It would just kill.
yeah, that was a good joke. He's in Wilmington now. Yeah, I don't think he's doing comedy anymore. He's like doing radio stuff still in Wilmington. The Dutch, that's what his little handle is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did Ken Jeong perform there? I think he popped in there once or twice.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think that was
Dr. Ken. He was
before
going
I got there, or maybe he popped in and.
Yeah, like once or twice. I remember one of his jokes. I don't know if I had met you at this point, but I remember him coming in there, and just because he had a funny joke. You remember that there's an aspirin called Nuprin. Remember Nuprin?
Uh-huh.
And their slogan was "Little Yellow Different," and he used that in his joke. I'm like Nuprin. I'm little yellow different.
Yeah.
I was like, that's clever.
Yeah, I don't. He probably was before us, right?
Yeah, he was, I guess, going to Chapel Hill at that time.
Or Duke.
Duke, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Duke. He was like he was a doctor, obviously.
Yeah. Now, you're from Walnut Creek, California.
Yeah.
That's close to Sacramento? No?
Yeah, I think it's close. I never know what's near me, and I'm from there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's about an hour, maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Have you been back recently? You go back ever?
I'm going back on July 18th.
Okay.
For a few days. Yeah.
All right. So you came from Walnut Creek to North Carolina to go to school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how'd that work out? How did you get from what made you choose Chapel Hill of all places?
I didn't get into UCLA. That was the main reason it was. But I wanted to go there too. But I thought I was going to get into UCLA. Well, I only went 2 years at Chapel Hill.
Okay.
So I did the DVC, which is like the junior college.
Okay.
So I got my grades up there. I mean, I had like a C average in high school, but I got my grades up at junior college, and then
Junior college in Walnut Creek?
close to Walnut Creek,
Okay.
Pleasant Hill.
Around there,
or
okay.
Concord, or I don't know which.
And then you're like, all right, so I'm going somewhere.
Yeah, I had applied to, like 3 schools. I think I applied to, is there an earthquake?
I don't know. It feels like this is like the third time that chandelier has
Yeah,
been shaken.
it's probably haunted.
We're doing this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, at the Laugh Factory. We're up here on the second floor. We got the whole place to ourselves. I rented this out for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I chose it because it's walking distance from where you're at. So you literally text me when you're here, and I did, and you were walking across the street.
with
That's so
non-alcoholic
convenient.
beer.
Yeah. No, but okay. So you went to
Yeah.
what was DVC? What does that mean?
Oh, it's just a Diablo Valley College.
Oh, okay. So you went there, got your grades up,
Got my grades up.
then you applied everywhere.
Just a few schools.
Yeah.
I just thought for sure I'd get into UCLA, but it was communication, so it was kind of impacted, and it was a little hard to get into. But
Yeah.
I somehow got into Chapel Hill, and I was kind of excited about that because I had this thing where I was like bodybuilding at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, was I doing
I've seen
that?
your old pictures, man. You were cut. You were ripped. You played football too, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're like a fullback.
No,
Looked
guard.
like-
I was a guard, yeah.
Oh, well.
But, I
Fullback.
tried to be fullback once.
What
You
happened?
played too, didn't you?
I played, yeah. I
you
played
were
high-
a running back, were you?
I was a little bit of everything. I was like a utility player. I got, my senior year, I joke about this now, but we had a perfect season. We went 0-10. We went defeated. Yeah. It was horrible. But people were quitting. People got hurt, and the coach kept moving us around. I mean, I played like 6 different positions my senior year. 3 different ones on offense, 3
Ever
on defense.
quarterbacks?
No, I couldn't. Man, something about having the shoulder pads on restricts me throwing
once
the
you
ball.
got I was good at just shorts and a shirt. I could throw a ball good,
Right.
run around. But yeah, once you put those shoulder pads on,
Yeah.
the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet you can't even see as good.
Yeah.
I would wear shoulder pads that are like 8 sizes too big for me so I'd look bigger, which is dumb. So even the times I was throwing the ball, I couldn't even it's like sidearm shit or something. But no, I never did quarterback. But you were guard.
Guard and nose guard.
Nose guard. What's one of your fondest memories? High school football.
Was practice one time.
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy Vernon Anderson. I was supposed to keep I was like outside. I was supposed to keep like anybody that coming around the line at the quarterback. So I was kind of, and this Vernon was coming all the way around. He just took this roundabout way.
Who's Vernon again?
He was like just a little utility player.
Yeah.
I mean, but he didn't play at all.
Okay.
But I just laid him out basically.
Yeah.
Right before
pancaked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That feels good.
But we always had it was the 20 or 34 counter trap. That was my favorite play where
you had to pull, right?
The tackle, the strong side tackle would let the guy go.
Right.
And then I would pull come
around.
Straight across and then hit.
And you got
him.
like a running start.
Oh yeah, and then
just leveling some like outside linebacker or tackle who was unexpectedly just
outside
standing there.
Right.
Yeah.
He would just come in.
Man, I got hit by one of your guys, a guard, one time in high school football, and I was literally like horizontal, like, you know. And I remember like it was the hardest I'd been hit in a game, and you know, I was like, I actually saw stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, that will happen.
Oh yeah.
And I remember my helmet was sideways. I was kind of looking at my ear hole for a minute.
Oh God.
But yeah, man, those guys love just like when you're not looking, right? You're looking somewhere else, but you're running that way. They're like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to destroy this human being, and he doesn't know it yet.
Yep.
All right, so
that's how football was for me. Like my sophomore year and I was a tight end my sophomore year and didn't catch one pass.
Oh.
I never really played much, and then I started working out, and then the junior year I played more, and then by the senior year, that's when I had fun.
Yeah.
Because I'd played a few years.
Well, how were you guys good? Were your team good?
My senior year, we were state champions.
Oh man!
But I hurt myself halfway through the season.
What? Where?
My knee.
Oh man!
So I didn't get to play in any of that stuff. And,
Yeah.
But
you've had some problems with your knees even when I've known you.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember you were laid up at my place there one time. This is little fun memory. You were okay. You remember when what was it? I think I got sick or something, and I was really my voice was killing me.
Just thinking about this.
That was hilarious. And I was like, oh man, I was really in pain. And you go like, my voice is great, man. Look at me, ha la 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 la.
Yeah, I can swallow. Watch me swallow. I can swallow. No problem.
This is easy.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, shut up, man. And then like, I got months later, you had surgery on your knee and you're on my recliner. And I come walking over with like a feather or something. I just started tickling your foot. You were like, no. I was like torturing you.
We made each other laugh a lot back then,
my
too.
God. Honestly, you're one of the funniest human beings I've ever met.
Too.
I swear to God. I mean, there are times in La Jolla where we'd be at the condo and just me, you, Oshak, Galern, just passing around a bong, just getting baked and laughing my head off. Godsick, Jason Sattler, Mike Sinisi. Yep. Shout outs galore.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna go from the history up. But yeah, those are amazing times. Okay, so high school football. You went to UNC Chapel Hill. Now, how did you get? I mean, you applied there. You just said yes because you were out of state. I mean, how did you afford that?
I mean, it was journalism. It was out of state.
Journalism.
Yeah, it was journalism. But I mean, the justification was sort of like, I'm only going for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
You know,
and they knew that. Like you said, look, I only want to be here for 2 years.
I'll do junior college, but then they knew that, right?
Yeah, okay.
And my parents knew that.
I could never get in Chapel Hill. You must have had decent grades at least.
I had a 3.9. Yeah,
that's good.
In junior college, yeah.
Oh, 3.9. Oh, because you actually started trying.
Yeah, and it was just a lot easier than, it was a lot easier than Chapel Hill. And I did all my hard classes before I went over there.
Okay, so when you get to Chapel Hill, all right, what's that like? Is it like a culture shock coming from California all the way to North Kakalaki?
Yeah, I used to wear bowling shirts and like those old geezer pants, and I was like the only guy in Chapel Hill dressed like that.
Yeah,
it was hard to I didn't meet anyone for a while, and then I kind of picked the wrong dorm to live in.
Oh yeah,
like you probably don't know the camps, but there's Craig and Aaron House. Those are the two.
Okay.
Like, 2 of the 4
on campus.
5. Yeah.
Okay.
And one was for like transfer students, exchange students, everybody like me, or I would have been. But I picked Aaron House for some reason. I think I just liked how it sounded, and it was all freshmen.
Okay. So
I got I had a freshman roommate, and I was a junior. So I'm already that distance.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a big gap at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do you remember your first roommate?
my first roommate, yeah, I remember he would masturbate a lot when I was sleeping.
That happens.
And-
He tried to
He didn't try to do anything, but
yeah.
but you could just.
He was masturbating loudly.
Yeah, it's like, we never got like a program together where like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, just tap me on the shoulder. Or
Right.
I'll leave for a little while and
Yeah.
then come back.
He didn't work out a
He
system.
just tried to like
just
get
sneak
one by
in.
me. Yeah. Trying to,
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
yeah.
So, all right, so we're in Chapel Hill.
Yep.
Now, correct me if didn't you do like your own TV show in college or something?
That
in
was
high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that, dude? I remember seeing some footage of that back in the day.
Yeah. Hanson Live.
Hanson Live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Talk about Hanson Live.
Yeah, I would have like sometimes I had like a teacher. One of my teachers was like a Buddhist monk, and I just had him on, let him go for a while. Then they had the coach on, the football coach, and I just tried to pretend I was a big David Letterman fan, so I
Yeah.
was like pretending I was like a talk show host.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
Is that where you started doing impressions? I mean, have you always done impressions?
at that point, I think I was just doing like people I knew,
Yeah.
I mean, like, like teachers and students
Right.
and stuff like that. Doing impressions was more like was when I went to Florence, Italy for study abroad my junior year
Of high school.
of
College.
college.
Oh, okay.
And then when I came back, when I was actually in Italy, I started doing impressions because there was no American TV or anything. So
Right.
everyone was like kind of craving. I think they were craving, American pop culture a little bit. So
Yeah.
I was just doing what I remembered these people sounded like, and then I just thought, well, this is kind of. I'd like to be a comedian. I think,
And that's where it started right there.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of your first really good impressions where you go like, wow, I nailed that. Everyone likes this one. Was it Letterman? I can't remember.
might have been Letterman.
I mean, that was a big one. I remember that one.
Nice to see. Good to have you. You would hope at some point. I don't know when. I don't know how.
You had the pencil.
Yeah.
That was a great sketch on, was it SNL? No, wait.
Mad
are you,
TV.
Mad TV.
That was the
that's right.
full one.
Right. So, Jeff, you might be one of the only guys. There are only a handful of people who've done both Mad TV and SNL. Am I right?
Yeah, me and Taron Killam.
Okay.
I think is still.
And
on
that's it?
SNL. That's it.
There's probably, I couldn't, I mean, you were the only guy for a
Yeah.
long time. Taron Killam, which one is he? He's on SNL now?
He might have just left.
Is he
but
a white
he's
dude?
Definitely a star. One of the stars of the show. He's a white dude. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't kept up with it a whole lot. Well, the names anyway.
Yeah.
So we're at Hanson Live. That's fun. Is that just for the school, public access?
It was
or-
public access. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did that, and then I went to the junior college, and I did the radio station.
Okay.
And I remember doing the radio show in the morning, and I wasn't used to coffee, and the bathrooms weren't open.
Oh, no.
So I would go out.
no.
I did it several times. I would
Yes.
just go out and just let
Blast it.
loose on greenery.
Oh, yeah,
the
outside.
grass. Yeah.
yeah.
But no one was at the school at that time. It was like 5 a.m. So
That's slowly become an epidemic recently. In the news, you hear about these people who are just going to just shitting at different places. Like there's a jogger who would shit in the woods or shit on a track.
Yeah.
There was one high school football coach who went to another school and shit in their field. Like it's really yeah.
it's become trendy.
But you just weren't
did it
used to the
before.
coffee. Yeah,
Before it got trendy, I was
started
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's right.
I think it only happened really 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Then you're like, okay, I know how to this coffee in my system. I got it 30 seconds.
Yeah. A little less.
All right. So that was high school.
That was
We get to Chapel Hill.
Yep.
We're in a dorm we don't know. It's all freshman kids. Our
Yep.
roommates masturbating quietly.
right.
And then
Then I asked for another roommate,
you did.
and then I got this other guy to be my roommate. He was okay.
Yeah.
And then I was the guy masturbating and putting it on over on
Right.
him.
You're like, this is what you do, apparently.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then eating his bologna and stuff like that. And yeah, so
You ever been like walked in on while that's going on? Like it's embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd been walked in. He pretty much caught me doing every embarrassing thing he could have caught me doing.
Was it close quarters? Was it like a studio?
Oh, yeah, studio.
Oh, so there's nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That's like prison rules.
Yeah.
It's like it's going to happen.
Yeah. Shit's going to go down.
It's just going to go down. All right. So then what brought you to Good Nights for the very first time? How'd you hear about Good Nights?
I was at the college, I did this like sketch troupe.
Okay.
And then one of the kids in the sketch troupe said, I'm going to go down to the comedy club. And I said, there's a comedy club, you know?
Right.
Because I'd got back from Italy, and in my head was the comedy club thing, but I hadn't seeked it out or done anything.
Yeah.
So I went with them down to Good Nights.
Yep.
I think I saw you the first time I went.
Okay.
And you killed.
Like a
You
Tuesday
always
night
killed.
or something?
Yeah. When I got there, I remember this because when I first got there, you were making a 30-minute tape.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, you were making your tape.
Oh, I
to
thought
go
you were in there
feature.
earlier than that for some reason. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And, yeah, and then
You know that whole story?
What's
I worked at UNC TV, right?
Yeah.
That was like one of my. I was a communication major, and so it's like an internship that paid. So long story short, I'm working there. I got access to all this great equipment and all these people who are just like me, but they know how to run cameras. And so I basically shot a half-hour special for $0 with 3 cameras,
Yep.
2 channels of audio, and then put graphics on it and sweetened it up. And I had a half hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember the cameras were really big and impressive.
They're like.
And you had the cords running, and you had tape on the cords.
Yeah. Man, I saw one of those tapes recently. I'm like, what was I going for with my dress, my outfit?
You were doing the dolphin thing.
Yeah.
The
mascots. You start off with the panther growl,
Right.
And then what if other mascots did that?
Yeah.
And then you end up with
Just
the dolphin.
kill.
And then like the one that I end it with the cowboy. I do the cowboys, right, and then shoot
Right.
the gun, and then Mike Spurlock one day he goes, dude, you need to go walk over to that stool and pretend to sniff cocaine off the stool, because Michael Irvin had just got in trouble for having cocaine or something. And that changed the whole joke.
Yeah.
It made it
Yeah.
like 1,000 times better. It went from here to like way up there.
How funny was Spurlock?
God almighty. I'm still like upset that he's not. I mean, he's one of the funniest human beings, but just so like insecure and shy about getting up there. It would be torture for him. And then he'd kill and be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he was
He was
real
so
unsure.
nervous about it.
I lived in that apartment complex.
lived in Koreatown.
Vincent Morris lived there, and
Oh, over in Studio City.
it was in Studio City. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on Boff Barham.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
I pass it all the time.
And Reno Collier lived there.
Reno Collier lived there. Phil something lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Phil hit. No.
Yeah, he was the guy who got us in there.
Yeah.
He was clean. He was a clean comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still see him on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, Reno lived there too?
Reno lived there. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He would always call me and he'd be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I'm like, "Fine. How you doing?" He's like, "Good." Hey man, you got any pot?
Reno is hilarious. Reno got me good one time. This was at Atlanta Punchline. And this was like for a Aspen Festival audition type thing. So it's all these comics sitting in there waiting to go up and do 15 minutes or whatever. Or like just 7 minutes. And so I don't know these guys. I'm sitting at a table and I see a pack of cigarettes. And I saw Reno, which just happened to be sitting in front. I was like, hey, man, can I get one of them? He's like, I don't care. I go, oh, thanks, dude. And I grab one and start smoking it. And then some other guy comes down. I was like, hey, who took my cigarettes? It wasn't even Reno's. Like, he didn't even have the permission to give it to me. But then I look back and I was like, well, he just said he didn't care. He
Yeah,
didn't say, yeah,
exactly.
take it. It's mine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a funny dude. He was touring around with Larry the Cable Guy for a while. He was opening for Larry.
Who was that? Oh, he still is, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah. No,
What are they
I think he
playing?
got with those guys. Anyway, I'm
Yeah.
getting off topic. Where were we? We were at Good Nights. You came in. I was doing the half hour.
You doing the half hour?
I was
and-
working at UNC TV.
Yep.
And so you heard about it through a friend who did sketch comedy with
Yeah.
you. Now what was your troupe? Did you have a troupe?
Yeah, Chapel Hill Players.
Chapel Hill
Chips.
Players. And then did they come in there and actually do some
No.
sketch?
No.
Do you know any of those guys today? Have you ever kept up with them?
You know White Sinak. Sinak?
Maybe.
I say his name wrong.
If I saw his face.
He's like, yeah, he's like pretty famous now.
White Sinak?
Yeah, he replaced me in the troupe when
Oh.
I left.
Okay.
'Cause I only did it for like, I don't know, a year maybe.
Right.
And then once I got a taste of stand up, that was it. I just wanted to do stand up.
Yeah, yeah.
So Zach, one of the kids in the troupe, came. We both went together to the club for the first time.
Yeah.
And Dan was like, I'll put you up next week. And I'm like, geez, really?
Right.
So I had like a week to get something together for the open mic night.
Did you have an idea of what your first time was going to be there?
Well, I knew what my impressions that I could do at the time were. I mean, I can't remember now, but at the time, I had like a couple of like De Niro and Letterman.
Right.
Maybe Louis Anderson or
Louis,
some
yeah.
of those.
God, still today the best.
It's hot in here. You guys ready to play that feud? I'm dying.
Oh, God almighty.
So I did those, just a few impressions, and then I started getting weird and trying different stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had the stick.
What was a stick?
I would have a stick.
Wait.
Iditarod, or not Iditarod.
No, the watering, like to find water.
Yeah, and then I'm going.
I remember this now. Oh, my God, that's right.
So I'd go through the audience like, it's taking me over here, it's taking me over here. And then I'd get on stage, and on the stool I had sand in a jar with a cloth over it, and it just led me right to it, and I took it off, and it was sand.
You're like, it's the wrong stick.
And it just bombed every time.
No, but dude, that's one of the things I
some
loved about you immediately was like, this dude does not care. He is up there just taking all kinds of risks, which I love,
Yeah.
Because everyone else is like, I must do the joke. Here is the setup. Here is the punchline. You could tell they have their shit memorized and they're reading it in their head and it comes out like a script.
Yeah.
Which is always how it starts for most people.
Yeah.
But it seemed effortless, like for you, And the impressions, I mean, those are dead on too. So,
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
that's where you. What was your first time like though? Do you remember the actual first
I
time?
think it went pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember it because that was pretty easy room.
Yeah,
Even if you're really new to it,
yeah,
if you had anything going on, you'd do pretty good,
right.
So, yeah, I remember the first time going well. I think the second time didn't go as well.
Okay. Do you have that on tape anywhere? Your first time? No,
I wish.
I got mine first time on tape.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It was before I took Dan's class. Frank King was doing it first. You know
Is
Frank
that
King?
the guy that lived at the apartments?
No. Oh, yes.
Frank King, yeah.
Frank King, that's right. Yeah, he was like a radio DJ in
Yeah.
Raleigh, and also hosted the open mic stuff. Kind of a dick.
Yeah,
at
he
first.
was kind of a dick. He was
Yeah.
a real sober
And then,
character.
and then once you got to know him, he softened up. But at first, I'm like, God, what a douche.
Yeah.
But I didn't take his class. He was the guy you had to go to talk to get on stage, and
Oh, so that was before Dan.
that was before Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, so Frank was like, I remember I had no concept of time. Like, just 3 minutes. Everybody do 3 minutes. I was probably up there maybe 4. I don't know. And I wasn't done with my act in my brain. And I had one little thing. He goes, all right, everybody. Just walked on stage and grabbed my hand. John Rape. And then just sort of like pushed me off the stage. I'm like, oh, that's how it works. This guy's a douche.
He was pretty anal, yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I would be too if I were in his shoes and some kid off the streets just wants to come up there and waste everybody's time. But, when you're that age and that happens in front of people and you're on stage and you've been thinking about this forever, it's kind of devastating.
Yeah.
But my first time, it is my actually first time ever. My buddy Marty Coulter came up from Charlotte to videotape this because he was like a fan of mine in high school. Like I was a class clown. I was a funny dude, and Marty was a great. Anybody can make Marty laugh. When Marty laughed, he's loud. It's just he worshipped the ground. Everything I said was hilarious to Marty, right? And so he was like very like enthusiastic that I'm going to try stand up. So he drove all the way from Charlotte to Raleigh on a Tuesday just to witness this and record it. And God, who was the guy emceeing? I forgot who the guy was. You'd know his name if I said it, and I can't think of his name right now. Kind of a stoner dude with long hair.
Not Spurlock.
Not Spurlock. It's before Spurlock. Well, anyway, he was doing the open mic, and he introduced me, and he said, okay, this next guy, it's his first time on stage. I was like, oh, don't tell him that. I didn't want the audience to know that, because now they're nervous for you, or they're going to be worse, And I ran on stage, and I thought it'd be funny to fall down, Chevy Chase fan, Chris Farley. I'm going up there and bust my ass. And I went up there, and again, there's maybe 30 people in the crowd, and Marty's in the very back recording this, right? So I ran up there. I fell down right away. And instead of laughing, the crowd went, oh no.
It's his first time and he fell.
Yeah. I could hear him murmuring that. I got up. I was like, no, I did not. Shit. And now I'm mad, and I can't think of my joke. And the microphone's way up doing jokes like that. No one could hear me. Except for the first one or two people. And I went back and watched the tape, and Marty, you see, like I do a joke, and Marty knew the joke because I was trying it out on him before I even went up there. So he already knew them without even having to hear them, right? So I do a joke, no one could hear me or no one laughed, but the camera goes, like he's laughing at me.
Starts nodding.
Yeah. But that was my first time. But I did well enough just to like want to go back and fix it. I think I can fix this, and kept going back, and then eventually, and I actually took a break for a minute because I wasn't. I don't know. I guess I was just having fun in college, really. Yeah. And then I went back.
Because you went to state.
I went to NC State.
NC State, yeah.
Yeah. Barely got in there. Yeah. I mean, I was C's and D's. I went to community college in Hickory for 2 years. Again, C's, B, here and there. And then Booger. You know Booger.
Booger, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Motorcycle.
Yeah.
Mowdy Dowdy. What was the other one? You had a good nickname. You had a great nickname for him. I forgot it now. It used to be called the Ratch. Remember the Ratch?
Ratch.
You were the Ratch.
Was I Ratch?
You were Ratch. I don't know who named you Ratch, though. I think Ratch happened out here.
No, Ratch happened out here. Robert Chilton.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember Robert. She said, "What's up, dude?" He was he called me the Ratch.
Right.
And then when I was living in Italy, they called me the Beast.
Right.
And then they called me the Bitch. Was I the bitch? Can
Where?
I say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell was
Who called you the bitch?
It was Beast, Bitch, and Ratch. I couldn't figure out any of. I don't know where they.
We had all kinds of weird nicknames, throwing around.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I forgot what I was going with this. Yeah, I did the stand up. That went great. Met you eventually.
Right.
We became buddies.
Yeah.
I thought you were hilarious. We didn't really hang out a whole lot there, except for in the comedy group. Like we'd go to his house, which is Jersey Dave's house, and drink his root beers.
Right.
Get stoned and play video games.
Sometimes
we'll go to the bars.
I remember you're dating that one girl that I really liked.
Who?
You're dating? I can't
Marlena?
remember. I think she was. Yeah, Marlena.
Yeah. Shout out, Marlena. Hope you're listening. Oh my God!
I had sex with her once.
You did?
Yeah,
and
her dog was licking my butt as I was having sex with her. It was the weirdest.
I remember. Okay, now this is all coming back to me. I remember her saying like, "Yeah, it was fine, but he didn't get along with my dog, and it just wasn't going to work out." Like that was a deal breaker for her.
Yeah,
that you didn't let the dog participate. Some anal play. But yeah, no, I dated her for a little while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was right when I was starting to go on the road. On the weekends here and there for little shit gigs.
Yeah.
But I eventually took Dan's class, and I really was kind of like, I don't know if I should take a class. He's going to teach somebody to be funny, which is dumb looking back because it was a good thing. But, he basically said to me, take the class or you won't get on stage. I go, I'm taking the class.
Yeah.
And so I signed up, and, you learn the mechanics of stuff and that kind of stuff, and it totally helped. So what made you move from Chapel Hill to Los Angeles? What was that big move?
My senior year, I lived with the family and I cooked for them.
That's right.
I cooked for this family.
Oh my God, ladies, gentlemen, this guy's a great cook. Yeah. I forgot you're such a good cook.
Yeah, thanks. I was Italian food. Well, I just came from Italy, and my roommate in Italy took the cooking classes and then would teach me when he got home.
Yeah.
And so basically, there was this family, and one of the father was a teacher at Chapel Hill, and so they just wanted me to cook for them, and so I cooked for them and lived there like free room and board for the year. Mm-hmm. And I forgot what my point was.
Well, how you got to Los Angeles from Chapel Hill?
She was a teacher. The wife was a teacher, and I was going to work with special needs kids. Start teaching out there.
Oh, that's right.
And I remember telling Dan French this, and he goes, "Why don't you just go to L.A. and do commercials at least? Just go to L.A. and do commercials."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. So
Yeah, so
after
many people
a year,
just
yeah.
followed his advice and said, "Okay,
That sounds
you
good.
seem to know what you're talking about."
I want to go there.
Yeah.
So I thought eventually I would go there. I'd get more stand up under my belt. But he's like, just
Right.
go now while you're young or whatever.
Yeah.
So yes, I moved. Like I said, a year later.
How long do you think you were in Goodnight's world before you said,
I
"I'm
think it was
just,"
about a year.
and you just drove out here?
Flew.
You flew. I mean, okay, so you didn't have a car. I mean, you had that. I remember that blue. You had like a blue SUV that you just ran through the. You
The Subaru?
rode the hard. You rode that thing hard. I remember going through the hills.
blue, the 4Runner?
Yeah.
The dumpster?
4Runner. Yeah. That thing.
was-
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was gnarly.
Did you buy
looking.
that out here?
No, that was my mom's, and it was what's it called when it was totaled.
Yeah.
So she just gave it to me,
Okay.
and I just took it to L.A.
Well, that's
and-
great.
Yeah, so I had that.
So you didn't
car.
have to drive out here. You flew out here.
I probably drove that car out here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I probably
yeah.
drove the 4Runner out here
And what was your first place? Wait, real
from
quick.
Northern California. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I just thought of a funny thing that we did.
What's that?
It's hilarious. Remember
Okay.
that time?
I know one time we can't talk about.
Oh, yeah, I know. There's lots of things we probably
Yeah.
can't talk about. Eventually, we'll work up to it.
Yeah.
This is round
We
one.
can't talk about that one thing though.
No way. Not until my parents
With
die.
Bobby Lee.
No way. You were wanting to get a new car or a used car. We went to West Hollywood. You found this online or something. There's this gay dude. I think his last name was Finkel, and his car had been water damaged. And we went to his house. I went with you
Oh yeah.
to buy this car.
Oh, I remember that.
And
yeah.
you just knocked the price down. Like you wore this guy down.
Yeah.
And you were like, so funny.
Oh yeah.
Because we were there probably 3 hours. And you were like, really like, I don't think you really cared about the car. Like
Yeah.
if it didn't work out, you'd have just moved on. But I think you were having fun messing with this dude.
Oh yeah.
About just seeing how
Just
low you could get.
driving them crazy.
It just
yeah.
went, the price would go down and down.
I think I got it for like $400. Remember the inside interior was like foam, and it would just.
Well, that was one of the
scratch
selling
it.
points. You like you had your hat on, and you took it off like, look at this, Tony.
Oh yeah.
This is asbestos.
Yeah.
You trying to kill me, Tony? You didn't even tell me about this, you know?
That's right.
And he was just like, fine, Jesus Christ. I mean, it was hilarious just to see you work this guy.
I was pretty much just trying to make you laugh.
Dude, success. That was hilarious. Oh, my God. Anyway, so you come out to L.A. Now, what club do you work into first? Comedy Store?
Comedy Store.
Now, who did you know there? How'd you get in there?
Bob Oshak recommended me.
Shaq,
Yeah. And so I auditioned and became a door guy.
Right. That's just what you do.
And I worked the back door. I was going crazy. Remember Chewy?
Oh my God, yes.
Chewy would just ride your ass.
That dude chased me one night through the whole building.
Really?
Yeah, because I went in there. It was my fault. I went in there like I just wanted to. I told him I was just gonna. I didn't have a spot. I just wanted to come hang out, and you couldn't park in that lot if you didn't have a spot.
Right.
And I knew that, but I went there anyway. I went in the back. I said, "Hey, Chewy, I'm just gonna go grab my check and come right back." You got 15 minutes, bro. Like 5 minutes, bro. And I knew it was just a waiting game. So I went from room to room. I'd see him coming. I'd go off to there's nooks and crannies all over the Comedy
Yeah.
Store. I mean, he was, and then I think he was on to me. I just got in the car and drove off. But I was there a good hour.
Yeah.
He was yelling at me though, because
Yeah.
he hated me.
He was crazy.
He was mean.
mean. And then I'd work that back door, and he would just ride me. And then I remember I thought I'd get past like soon.
Yeah.
But I remember saying to Mitzi, the owner, rest in peace.
Yes.
I said to her, just to make a joke, just to be funny. She walked up and she's like, "What's going on?" I go, "I don't know, but that bathroom, woo!" and there was nothing wrong with the bathroom. I just
He was
said
just doing that.
And she's like, "Well, fine, clean it up then."
Oh, she said that to you?
Yeah, and then
no.
then it was like didn't get to showcase for like 9 months.
Oh, really? Just because of that?
Yeah, but then she came up. Then she came up to me and she said, I don't know how it came. I just started doing Louis Anderson tour,
Right.
and she loves Louis.
Yeah.
and she was laughing, and then Then she let me showcase, and then I became a regular. Yeah.
And you did I remember you did the incoming messages for the Comedy Store
yeah.
sometimes as Letterman, as Louis.
Yep. They kept that on there for a while.
Yeah, I remember that. So Comedy Store happens, and then I think maybe I came out here maybe 2 years later, maybe a year or so later, something like that.
Yeah, you were
maybe 2 years.
Was it 2 years? No, it wasn't that long.
Maybe it's possible.
About a year.
I moved out here in 2000. My first roommate
2000. Okay, then 2 years.
My
Yeah.
first roommate was Joe Stevens. I lived in Los Feliz.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We had. Remember those stories?
Bicycle.
Dude,
that voicemail he left, I wish we still had that. He got so mad at you for some reason.
He got mad at me because, and I never got girls, hardly ever.
Right. This was when you were on SNL.
No,
and you had the
before.
summer off. No, it was because he
was?
wanted to pick your brain because he's an actor too.
Yeah.
And you had like a hiatus thing, and you just wanted a place to stay. And I was on the road. I said, "Stay in my room."
Yeah,
and Joe said,
yeah.
"Yeah, I'm cool with it. I love to talk to Jeff Richards from SNL."
Yeah.
And then I guess maybe you guys never actually had that meeting or something.
Well, we hung out a little bit.
Yeah.
But I hardly ever saw him, and he kind of creeped me out a little bit.
He's a little weird, dude. He had a short temper.
Weird.
Short temper.
I could see why he worked as a character actor though, because
Yeah.
he was like
Yeah.
perfect as what he was,
Yeah.
you know. But I met this girl at the Improv, and I brought her back to the apartment.
Yeah.
And I guess you're making a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
Well, he was just banging on the wall, yelling at me
Yeah.
as I'm having sex.
Yeah, come on, Joe. Don't be a cock
weird.
blocker.
He's totally screwed everything
Yeah,
up.
wait till I finish at least.
And yeah, so that was Joe Stevens.
Well, he
Joe-
got mad,
Yeah.
and then I guess he left you this voicemail because,
Oh yeah.
dude, I'm
Bicycle.
telling you, that's where I got Bicycle from.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I use it today.
Oh, cool.
It's from Joe Stevens. That voicemail he left you. I tell people the story all the time. It's hilarious because he got so mad at you. He called up and said, "Listen here, you goddamn motherfucker. You've been here so much as 3 days, ain't bought me a fucking cheeseburger. I can't sleep at night. Been going to the sleep doctor. Got insomnia over there jacking off, listening to porn. I'm over here tossing and turning. He even says much hello to me. That's it, buddy. I want you out of here tomorrow. You are gone. That is it. I've had enough. Bicycle."
Yeah, it's like
He went from mad as hell
it just like
to cute.
nullified the whole message.
Yeah. And we must have listened to that voicemail 100 times. Just every time he said bicycle. I've never heard anybody say that
Bicycle.
as a goodbye. And anyway, that was hilarious.
great.
Yeah. So that's my first when I first moved here. It was there.
It was Joe
But
Stevens.
actually, if you count the times, I mean, I crashed at your place a couple times for a good while.
Place today. Oh, in the Barham place.
Barham.
Yeah.
The on the floor.
Right.
Just to see if I was, and then Joby Sad. Remember Joby Sad?
I remember the
Comedian.
name.
He had a place I crashed at a couple times. It was when I was trying to figure out, am I actually going to move here? You know,
Right.
like, can I do this? But it was right after I did Montreal. So I came here for like a couple weeks just to see if I could do it, you know. And then I moved out here later with Joe Stevens. But we're almost out of time. But real quick, because I want to do another one with you.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
Give me. This will be a teaser. Give me a little bit of how Mad TV happened, because you're out here killing it with impressions. You're killing at the Comedy Store. You're a made guy.
Yeah, I just been kind of made regular, and then I think two people recommended me for Mad TV Showcase at the store.
Okay.
I mean at the Improv.
At the Improv.
And there's just 5 minutes of stand up, and I did 5 minutes of stand up, did impressions,
Yep.
and then Nicole Garcia pulled me aside and said, you know, who's your representation? And I said, I don't have anybody. You know, she said, oh, that's no problem. And then she just started the audition process, and I think I auditioned like 12 times.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's grueling.
Yeah, twice the network.
Is that 12 different impressions too? Or, I mean,
just
you
constantly
mixed it up.
changing things
Yeah.
and like coming up with new things, and yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. So I knew that wasn't going to last very long because they weren't really sure about me at all, and I was real fresh. You know,
Yeah.
I was real
Right.
green. I hadn't done anything before.
Right.
So
I mean, this is huge. Did you
But-
do a commercial before that? Yeah, I know you had a commercial.
Fox Sports was the.
That's
you remember that
right,
one?
Fox Sport. Yes, and you were like jumped off the couch. You were
Yeah.
celebrating. It was like
Yeah.
blue tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man. So okay, so that's really the only experience you kind of had. And
Yeah, I'd only done
out
one
here.
commercial. I hadn't done any acting, nothing at all.
Then bam, here we are on Mad TV.
Yeah. So learn on the job, which I think I did okay considering.
Hell
The
yeah.
Letterman sketch was good, and I did a couple of little things.
When did Gary Busey happen?
Gary
that
Busey
SNL?
was SNL, yeah.
Yeah. That might be one of my favorites.
I was in the parking lot of a Frito-Lay factory getting a hand job from what I hope was a circus clown.
What was this
Bicycle.
one? You had this one where you like, because I remember the wording on this. It's just so funny. You were doing Dr. Phil. You were doing Dr. Phil, and you said, let me tell you something. You put a rattlesnake against that, you put it on a roller coaster, he come back, you put your hand on that, he ain't going to bake you cake.
Yeah. If you want to change your life, you got to make changes in your life.
Yeah, right.
Something I like to call life changes.
Yes. Oh my God, we could do this for hours, and I want to do another one.
All right.
If you can.
Sure.
But we're gonna wrap it up for now. Thank you, Jeff Richards. Everybody, where can they find you?
Instagram and at Tasty Jeff, TASTY Jeff, and then fan page Jeff
Yeah.
Richards, the Jeff Richards.
And you've got a lot of funny. You're doing these funny things now. I've been noticing on. I don't know if it's a Snapchat filter that
Yeah.
you're using. Yeah, those are great.
Snapchat face swaps.
Yeah.
I'll put the celebrity face on, and then
Yeah, you just did Jeff Ross today, which is hilarious. So go find him on Snapchat, Instagram, and do yourself a favor and enjoy some Jeff Richards, everybody. Thanks, buddy.
thank you, John.
Oh, man, I miss that guy. I'm so happy we reconnected. I hope to keep him in here another one. We got tons of stories that we can tell and a lot that we can't tell, unfortunately. Not for a while. Baby steps. We might get there. Anyway, so happy to sit down with him. Again, don't forget to rate us, review us, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends. Go to johnreep.com, JONREEP. Check out my tour dates. I'm on everything, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, you name it. Everything's just at John Reep, JONREEP. And most of all, hope you have a great Friday, everybody.
And the radio up, I like to see sunrise. See the love in my woman's eyes. Feel the touch of my precious child.